Hey everyone, it's the Toy Enhancer here, and today we are in the workshop. And if you watched last week's live stream, you'll know what I'm going to turn this into. But just in case you missed it, I found this Lord Zedd Mighty Morphin Power Ranger helmet at Ross. Like I said, I'm not a big Power Rangers fan. I do have Power Rangers. I don't hate them. I'm not big into collecting them because it was a little past my generation. But that being said, I found this for $29.99 at Ross. So it was only 30 bucks. It says it retails for 69 at the top there. I believe it goes for more than that. So it has a voice changer in it. It has adjustable straps. The inside is real nice. We're about to take a look at it. And besides it being Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I was like, I can really make this into something. So with the brain matter that Lord Zedd has on here, that gave me the inspiration to do the Range Viper. And we all know what the Range Viper looks like. Very, very evil looking Cobra Viper. So that being said, let's get on with the project. Move this out of the way. And this is the helmet. I've already prepped the lens with masking tape because I'm going to utilize the lens in some shape or form. And we'll take a look at the inside of the helmet. I guess it kicked on, so it's got a voice control. And
it sounds like this.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you just actuate it through a button. There's also nice head supports in here. The helmet's very well built. It has a battery supply on the back here. Let's see if we can. Probably can't pop that off unless I get a screwdriver, but it just holds 3 AA batteries, I believe. Even this back, if you know the Range Viper, he has a hose that ports into the back of the head, so I believe I will be able to utilize most of this helmet. The only thing that I'm worried about is maybe this ridge as it comes around the sides. I don't know if I want that bump there, and I don't know if it's necessarily like going to show that bad. So we're going to determine whether we need to whittle that down or add to it or whatnot. But my main priority, because it is the Range Viper, is I need to develop the front of the mask. So I hopped on Amazon thinking, oh, I could probably find some kind of skeleton mask that would work with this project and pick it up cheap. And I found several, but this one in particular right here is the one I pulled off of Amazon. And I think I probably paid less than $8 for this. I know it was under 10. Not expensive at all. And it did have like a cushion on the bridge of the nose that I've already pulled off, and I've just left this on to show you guys it was a mask that you just wear for Halloween. So with that being there, I believe I can shape this mask, and you can see I can get it on the helmet in such a manner, and I'm going to make sure I either screw it to the helmet or support it some way really good until I can get some fiberglass resin in it or whatever we're going to use for a bonding on this helmet. But I need to pay attention to the brow, and I need to make sure that you're still going to be able to look out the lens with a nice visual preference, because my daughter's going to be wearing this, and I want it to be comfortable and yet still usable where you can see real good. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try to develop the rest of this brow, and we're going to try to get that Range Viper look from this upper portion. And this is the speaker of the unit, so I decided to just leave this part alone, and I'm going to cover it with the brow, so you won't see it, but it'll still have a speaker there working. All right, guys, wish me luck. This is definitely going to be one of a kind. I've already looked on the internet. There is no Range Viper helmet to my knowledge right now. Please leave a comments if I'm wrong, but there is no Range Viper helmet, and it's definitely not going to be one of this quality. So wish me luck. Let's get started. All right, let's get this thing started. First thing I'm going to attempt to do is attach the skull mask to the helmet. I have to judge the right position and make sure I bring the bridge of the nose up far enough to where I can make a nice brow in line with the eye space that I have. So I don't want to, what I'm saying is what I don't want to do is cover up too much of the visible eyes. Right here, I just have it sized up, and I'm going to shoot for the screw going between the nose holes and the cheekbone there. There's a little indentation that has a slight hole. And I'm going to line it up to that thick bead that's going around the helmet. And what I want to do is hit that thick part, because I know I can put a screw in there to set it until I'm able to Bondo it. And all this plastic that is about to go on is just going to be temporarily set with simple sheetrock screws. Just something to hold it in position until I get it the way I need it. I have the sheetrock screws set in the mask, already pre-drilled the holes. Now, it's a little bit tricky, but I'm just going to work that screw into that pre-drilled hole. Same on the other side. Like I said, it's a little tricky to line things up, and you'll have to readjust here and there. So it took me a couple tries, and I had to redo the left side, but I got it in a position that I was happy with. Now I have to work on this brow. And what I'm going to use is a sheet of ABS, but I want it to be curved ever so slightly. And right here, I'm just using my heat gun to heat up this piece of ABS so I can shape it into the curve that I need. So I've got the curve in a relatively good shape, enough to where I can start applying it and figure out where I need to make my next cuts on this brow. I'm always placing it on the helmet and looking at things and marking things. You always have to take your time through this process. Never try to rush it. I'm going to take a look at the actual Range Viper. I'm just using him for reference to look at his side profile and kind of feel out how the mask needs to be. It's not going to be dead nuts perfect. It's not going to be perfect by no means, but I just want something that resembles the Range Viper, I'm shooting for very close in this instance because no other helmet exists, and the one that I did see was very poor quality. So if I can shoot anything above that, I'll be super happy. And right here, I'm marking out where I need to make my cuts. I have to be mindful of the speaker up top because I definitely want that to be covered. Now I'm just going to cut on my marks and get the rough shape needed to go across the brow there. And these snips work great for cutting this, as long as it's a brand new sharp pair. If you got to cut a lot of ABS, I highly recommend a good pair of snips. I'm just going to take the piece that I have shaped, and what I'm doing is tracing it out on another piece of ABS because I want to make an underneath lip of this brow. I want it to have like a fill-in piece underneath, so to speak. This part right here was very tricky. It took a lot of shaping, and I had to use the heat gun several times to just get the plastic to bend around the corner of this lip that I'm about to show you. And I applied it with super glue with the light, and it worked okay, and it took a little bit of time, and I just had to do it slow. So this is probably the toughest part of the construction, the rough construction of it. But yeah, this part did take me a minute. Right here you can kind of see what I was going for. I just needed like an underpiece that I could shape, and I just wanted it to hug tight to the lens right there. So about got it glued. I'm going to glue it a little more on that corner, and then I'm going to start shaping it up. Just making the final adjustments. And then we're going to throw it on the helmet here. And see how that looks. Yes, we're getting closer and closer to the Range Viper vibe. Again, here's a profile where you can see that brow it does push forward. It's not sunk in. So I need this to extend out as far as possible to get a more realistic look. We're going to do a side profile here, and you can see what I mean. See how far kicked in it is? And then when I have the brow, it just evens everything out, makes it right. And that's what I was going for. Right here, I'm just getting ready to attach the brow with another screw. We're just going to use a screw to hold it into place. I'll pre-drill the hole, and then I'll work the screw in by hand. And that way I can feel like how far I'm going with the screw, if I'm hitting anything. I can listen for sounds of cracks in the plastic. None of the plastic did that on this project, but I have had plastic crack on me while putting screws into it, and that's why I always recommend that you pre-drill the hole. I just pop the sheetrock screw into the plastic first. I'll get the tip set up so I can put it right in my pre-drilled hole. And we'll get it all screwed in there. And then I'll just repeat on the other side. Same thing. I got it wrapped around nice and tight. I'm making sure that the level between the mask and the brow is even on both sides. Pre-drill the hole and set a screw. I'm gonna bring it up close so you guys can see. I just leave the screws extended on that one, on the upper part, because I'm just gonna snap them off later on. I'm just taking a quick look at the side of the mask and seeing what I need to do to link it from the brow to the bottom jaw. So I need some kind of fill-in piece right here. I'm just holding up some scrap. I can tell right away that I'll probably get the piece that I need out of that piece that was cut out of what I was using. And I love doing that. If I can take some scrap and work it into my project that I'm working on, I always try to utilize any scrap. Now that I have my side piece to the shape that I need, I'm just going to pre-drill another hole into that thick ring of plastic and set another screw. And again, I'll snap these screws off. I'll cut them off, and then whatever is left, I will work when through the Bondo process. And that worked out rather nice. This next part here is where I actually make a mistake, but I wanted to point it out to you guys so you don't do the same mistake. I was gonna just try to cut the screw off with the grinding wheel, and yeah, it's shooting sparks everywhere. It was kind of a crazy idea there, but I didn't realize as I was doing this, the screw was getting very hot, and the plastic ended up just popping off of the screw. So I pushed it back on while it was still warm. There's where it happened. Or no, it's right here where I'm just grinding away, trying to bear it down to the plastic. I get it right about where I need it, and then it's superheated. The plastic popped off. So what I did is I just pushed it on with my finger because I could feel how warm it was. It was a very not smart of me to do that, but I wanted to tell you guys and show you because not everything goes right on these builds. I have to adjust and modify as I go. So I held it in place, and then it ended up staying after it cooled back down. So I just left it where it was. And again, this will be molded in with Bondo and whatnot, so wasn't too worried about it. The rest of the screws, I just decided to snip off with a pair of dikes. there's just one more part that I wanted to work on. And then I can get down to my Bondo and the back hose part. But this part came with a helmet. It was the Z staff that sticks out of the front of the helmet. But as I got to looking at it, I figured I could use it for that top piece. It was already bent and shaped pretty well to go across the back. And I always try to utilize any plastic or anything that I don't have to make my own, and I can shape it out. Here's the part that I'm talking about, that strap that goes over the top of the head. I understand that that part that I started with is thick, but again, when I paint it and when I shape things with the Bondo, I'm pretty sure I can just make it blend in, and all I need is the part of the mask to be blue, and everything else will be gray brain matter, so it should blend in very well. So I just took the grinder and I started to shape this and cut away what I didn't need so I could get a nice tight fit to the top of the brow that I made. I'll just take the piece and pull away the piece I cut with a pair of pliers. It was being a little stubborn. And it gets a nice tight fit right where I need it. And here I just have the piece sitting on the top, and I'm just marking the back part to cut the Z off of the end there. And it doesn't wrap all the way around the back of the head, but that stuff I have some different ideas for, and we'll probably get to that in the next video. But I just needed to cut off the Z and leave me something to work with here. So, hey, if you haven't done so already, please give this video a like and subscribe if you like what you see. And this is part 1, so please watch out for part 2. We're going to do some Bondo and put on some more accessories. And then hopefully we can dip into the paint. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.